Welcome to another of Shadow Dragon's tutorials. This tutorial is going to be a little bit different from my usual tutorials because it's on something a lot more complicated than I usually do. So what I want to show you today is how to make an automatic tree farm using Redpower 2. You're going to need some logic for this, and I will show you all the logic that you need first, and then we'll move on to the next part. So there will be cuts in this tutorial. The logic you need is one timer, two counters. You're actually going to need two repeaters. You're going to need a NOT gate, an AND gate, and a buffer gate. Okay? In addition, you're going to need some pistons. One piston should actually suffice. One breaker. You're going to need one filter. And you're also going to need 3 deployers. Okay, so I am going to show you how to do the circuitry first. And you place your timer and set your timer to 1 second. And then you come around the opposite side of the timer and you place your first counter. Leave 1 space, place your next counter. This counter goes to 11 on the maximum and 11 on the decrement. And your first one goes to 21 and 21. Okay, your buffer goes in between them with the input on the counter that is against your timer. You're going to need some red alloy wire, and you're also going to need 3 different types of insulated wire. You connect your red alloy wire here, here, and here, and your first color of insulated wire goes where the buffer is. Okay? Now, the next thing you need to do is place your NOT gate on the opposite end from your timer with the input facing the direction of the timer, like this. Your AND gate will go towards where you just placed your red wire off of the NOT gate with the input facing the NOT gate. Okay, the output of this will be your next color. Okay, now you place your red wire here, and the final color of insulated will go there. This is your basic circuit to run your tree farm. Now, in order to make this work, we are going to need some bundled cable, and you just run your bundled cable all the way around so that it connects all the different colors with one cable. So now you can choose the position that you want your farm to be in. Okay, I am going to make it not too far away. We're going to place it right here. Okay, now is when you need your block breaker and 2 of your deployers. So you are going to need to find the color of cable that you used on the side that only has one color. Okay, it's the one connected to your counter with a maximum count of 21. In my case, that's green. So I'm going to run my green cable like so. Alright? You place your deployers so that the first one is here and the second one is here. And then your first repeater will go here, and you don't have to adjust the repeater at all. Now you place your breaker, which will go here. Then you need to come back and find out which color you connected to your buffer. In my case, white. So next you run a white cable like so, and then you need to block off the deployer from that cable with your cover strip. Okay, now the next thing you need to do is make sure that you have light for where your tree is going to grow, which is between these machines. So I'm going to place a torch, and I'm going to place it right here. It doesn't really matter too much where you place it, as long as it is not here, because this is where we are going to build our structure. Now you need to build a structure that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 high, and then you come out 1 and you place a deployer right here, and you orient your deployer so that it is facing out. Okay? Next, we're going to be placing our piston. And since this is just a tutorial, I'm going to do this in creative mode because it is a lot easier. So, to place your piston, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to place some other block here, and then one more in front of it, and then place your piston there, and orient the piston so that it is going down. Okay? And then you can break this one, but leave that there, because that is where you're going to put the next repeater against, and set that to 1 tick. Right click it once, and then you need to figure out which side you placed your block breaker on. In my case, it was on this side. You are going to have tubes coming out of this block breaker going up this structure, so your red wire for this is going to come down this side. So let's run our red wire. Okay, and you place it like so, and you have to hold sneak to get it to go against that like it does, and then all you have to do is figure out which color is going into your AND, or coming out of your AND, in my case black. So I just run the black out of the bundled cable, and the rest of this, since insulated cable is a little bit more expensive, I will just run with red wire. Okay, so that goes up there. Now you are probably going to want to make sure that this can run for a long period of time. So what you want to do is you want the sand that deployer is going to push out to go back into it. So we run our tubes up this structure here. And into your deployer. And into your deployer you will place sand. I usually just use 1 stack, but you might want to do a little bit more just in case any bugs delete any of your sand for any weird reasons. And then you're also going to need a filter, and your filter is going to face your tube on the input side, and on the output side you're going to want to place a chest. This is where your wood is going to go. So your first tree is going to need to be placed and bone mealed manually. Okay? And then I am going to cut this to make sure that I have right which one gets the sapling and which one gets the bone meal. Be right back. Okay, your bone meal goes into the deployer that has the repeater going into it, and your saplings go into the other deployer. Now you want to make sure that your filter has a piece of wood in it, and this needs to be birch. By the way, this will not work with any other kind of tree 100% of the time, but it will with birch. So place 1 piece of birch wood in your filter, and make sure you're using birch saplings. And on a final note, you also need to make sure that this outside input to your AND gate is off. And then to start this device, all you have to do is grab a lever, place your lever next to any white input, and you can just run an input off of this if you want, anywhere on the bundled wire, although you can do it up here if you want. It doesn't really make a difference. You place your lever and you flip your lever once and then turn it back off immediately, and that will start the device. And as you can see, it's deploying the sand, and the wood will go into our chest, and the sand will go back up into the deployer. So that is the automatic tree farm. You do need to keep your saplings and your bone meal stocked. However, if you're interested in making this a little bit more automatic, you could run a green red wire down under the ground to some transposers with the input facing up, and those will suck the saplings that fall into the transposers and just have the pipes coming out of those transposers going into the deployer with the saplings. In addition to that, if you want to make it completely automatic without having to have a skeleton spawner to keep your bone meal stocked, you should watch my Let's Play, because I will be creating a system with equivalent exchange that makes this entire system fully automatic and allows it to run indefinitely. So, if you liked this tutorial, please watch my LP, and if you'd like to give me a chat, then the link is in the description, and thanks for watching.